Not on here yet, but yeah, 5 with T-Bird at the fire pit. I wonder if Rocka's going to be first. Yeah, it didn't take long to put that on. I got my steak. Woo! Well, somebody already hit the like button. And there's that steak. Michael can't see it, but I'm already chowed down on it. Woo, Rocka! Yeah, my money was on you. Oh, I've already been eating it. Oh, I don't know how long Michael's gonna be, but this steak is too delicious to. I can't wait for Michael. All right, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I wish I would have started that about 8 o'clock, but then it would have been daylight. Evening, Vegas Dacker. How you doing? Cooking. We're cooking a fire. An awesome steak. Woo! Nice ribeye steak. Yeah. There it is, Michael. It's mine, he says. It's mine. Oh, yeah. Mm, yeah, it's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. If I knew a way to send it to you, I would. Good living. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, sir. Can't take it with you. Good to see you, Vegas. Appreciate you, brother. Gonna try to this week coming up. I need to get your mailing address. I'm gonna look to see if it's on your description on your page. I'm gonna send you a poker chip and some swag. Like I said, no need to send me anything. I know you said you don't have any swag or poker chips, and that's fine. You need to have a T-Bird poker chip and some swag. It just wouldn't be right. Yeah, I'm just sitting here enjoying myself in my fire pit. Mrs. T-Bird's chair is right over here. She's inside still working. And I'm out here enjoying the fire. 3D printer laser. Uh, uh, Still doing my homework. I'm so mixed. I'm favoring the laser printer. Uh, but I don't know. I might end up just getting the 3D printer probably. I'm gonna research different types of laser printers to see what their capabilities are uh, before I do. Alrighty, Michael. Yeah, we'll see you in a little bit. I'll sit here and eat your steak for you. Mm-mm. Yeah, I put some of that rosemary Himalayan salt on it. Boy, is that awesome. Yeah, I probably could. That's what I'm thinking about with the graphite molds. Designing my own. I could even make two-sided ones where they fit together with a sprue, just like you would when you pour it in a oh, I can't think of the name. A flask. I could do the same thing, but in a graphite, two graphite molds put together, and do one on each side. Probably, I probably could. I think you're right. I I would have to research that. Like I said before, I make a decision on whether to get the laser or the 3D printer. Stuff like that is what I want to research. What I can do with it, and what type of a laser printer that I need. And I'm not going to go stupid crazy or anything and go spend two, three, $4,000. That just wouldn't be worth it. But if it's I mean, a good quality 3D printer is going to cost me $800, 900. The laser printer I had looked at was like about 1500. One of them. I didn't do too much research on it though. But yeah, that would be sweet. I could also use the laser printer on woodworking projects as well. Um, laser etching stuff in the wood, which I do a lot of woodworking as well. I've never showed any on my lives or my streams, but I've got compound miter saws, table saws, all other various tools, routers. I've done a lot of woodworking before in the past. The only thing I've never owned is a lathe, and that's one thing I want to get is a wood lathe. I've always wanted to have a lathe. One other thing I don't have, which would be nice as well, is would be a wood planer. I mean, I've got a handheld wood planer, but thank you, Ann Marsh. Thanks for stopping in. Awesome. Thank you very much, Vegas. Appreciate you, brother. Mm-hmm. Have a good night. I think you're at work or on your way to work. Yeah, it almost looks like I could use a little more wood on that fire, maybe. I had was talking earlier about having some copper and putting some copper on the fire to get like the green and the red flames. I don't know if you ever seen that before, but I tried the copper that I use for melting it. It's a little heavier gauge and it doesn't seem to do it. I think I have to get like regular like lead cord copper wire. Hey, Bobble, what you burning? Oh, softwood. Makes too much ash. I have this awesome steak Michael Stacking's missing out on. Oh yeah, nice ribeye steak. Mm-hmm. He came in. He saw a peek of it. Oh man, I'm such a tease, aren't I, Raka? I am such a tease. Oh, look at that. Oh, you can't see that. Oh my, that is so delicious. I use some rosemary, Himalayan salt on it that I have. Oh, it's so good. Cooked it in a. Um, it's not the conventional oven, but it's an oven, air fryer, all in one. Somewhere you can grill with it, you can bake with it, you can air fry with it. It's got multiple uses. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I could share with you guys. I feel bad. I can't share this with you. I'm awful. I got my headlight on. I can see my coffee cup. Woo. Coming from work. I had to refill it. You can see my tripod. I got stood up there. The shadow. I had to turn my light up. Probably about 15 minutes ago, just about 5 minutes before Michael ended his stream, I was out here eating this, and I heard a couple of raccoons, two raccoons. They were battling it out. It must have been a couple of males fighting over a female, I guess. I don't know. But boy, that sounded awfully fierce. It's not beyond the realm of possibility it could happen again. Oh, she's inside the house. She's still working. She's in her house. She's in her work studio. I have my garage studio for porn. Then I got my YouTube studio. She has her office video or office studio. I said video. She don't usually get done work though 12, the earliest, 12:30, sometimes 1 o'clock or later. Yeah, I got the headlight on because I have it on my food. I got one of those. Oh, I don't know what you call it. I forget off the top of my head, but I have a phobia. I have a phobia. A couple of them. One of them's not being able to see my food when I eat. I have a need when I eat something. I have to see what's on my plate. I just, no matter what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad phobia. I don't know. Maybe it's a good phobia. What else would it be unless you leave that steak unattended? Yeah, exactly. It's right on my lap, and I got the light on it. So, we, what's nice about it tonight? We have this. It's not a super strong wind, but it's a nice. It's more than a breeze, but it's a nice, good sized wind that's blowing from the southeast, blowing northwest. And there isn't really any mosquitoes. That's one bad thing I dislike about living up in the country, like where I live. That's the only thing is the mosquitoes and the black flies and the gnats. Um, we got a bunch of ponds around our area, like, here and there all over, and that's where the mosquitoes breed in. Usually around my property, I try to buy these. They call, yeah, ticks too. Uh, Maybe that's one reason why I mow so much because they're more in the tall grass and in the weeds and stuff. I don't really get too many ticks. We do have some. Every once in a blue moon, I'll get one on me, but of course, I'm walking throughout the wooded area in the back, and there's brush there. We don't really allow our dogs to go out back there, but they kind of stick around the mowed, tended area, and very seldomly do they ever get ticks. They're pretty much house dogs. We just let them out when they have to go to the bathroom, or if we come out here. I mean, if I was to let them out here, they would be right in here with the fire pit with me. Um, Let me set this down for a second now. Back this up, and I'll show you. Uh, let me see. I'll have to put my light on bright. I guess I'll dismount you guys. Excuse the fork. Yeah, I got my tripod right there. But of course, you see the fire pit. How I have that design, and I got cinder blocks. They're up, and then I have stone. All this stone on the top. Let me unplug this cord. All different types of stone on the top. Stones all along the bottom of the base wall. And then I have these other type of stones that are up here. And I got this nice, I got to replace this. This is like an outside door carpet. That's over the top of raised stone. But I also have these other huge stones that I've previously bought and that the whole complete pad's made out of. And what was I going to show you? I forgot. Oh, I got sidetracked. Um, I think I was just going to show you the area back here. I got my broom. I got a lot of pine needles because I have pine trees back here. A lot of the needles fall off from them and kind of come into here. So I'm constantly always sweeping that up, but I got to buy a whole new thing there. Hey, Cartier, how's it going, brother? Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I think that's what I was getting at when you the fire pit. I I can take you for a quick look on the outside of it. Yeah, I think you've already seen it. I got solar lights on the outside. This one, I don't know. This one stopped working. I'm gonna have to replace that one. I put plants in those. I got soil that's on the inside of them. I haven't got. I got a couple of plants and I haven't put them in here yet. But over in the front, that's another one that went bad. It's not working. There's one of the solar guys here. solar lights, and you walk by it, turns on brighter. It's supposed to, it's making a liar out of me. There it goes. It pops on. I got another one there. I got to push them together tighter. But it's about 12 feet long by about 10. Oop, there's one on the top. That's pretty bright. 10 feet wide. It's about waist height. Oh, get back to that steak. I left it unattended, Rasbabo. Oh boy. Just got home from a long night. Did you work? You long night at work, Cartier? Tell Jeff I got his package in tonight. I haven't opened it. I got it in my studio. I did a video. I haven't post office. I did a video on that. I'll probably post that tomorrow. If I was inside my studio or the house, I probably would have did a live stream opening on it. Maybe I'll wait for tomorrow night to do that. I still got my work clothes on. What's wrong with me? I need a bigger fire. Bigger fire. Need some of that more of that birch wood I have that I've been cutting up. That tree that fell. I can turn my light back on and finish my steak. Yeah, but make sure to let him know that I've received that. I'd appreciate it, Cartier. I haven't opened it. I want to wait until I can do a video or do a live stream on it to open it. And he sent me a box. What did he send me? He sent me a box. A roast sisters chicken from work. Awesome. Lemon pepper. Those are pretty good. My local store, which is Market 32 or Praise Chopper, they do the rotisserie chickens as well. And I've got one of the lemon pepper chickens from them before. It's not a bad price either. You get a whole chicken, and it's only like I don't know, like $5 or $6 or something like that. Good side chicken, and it's pretty good. Oh, that's his. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what he sent me. I haven't seen him tonight. I thought he would be in Michael's. I didn't see him. And did you see him in Michael's live stream, Rocka? I know I was in and out, going in and out of the house, making Mr. T-Bird a coffee and cooking my steak. I don't remember seeing him though. He's usually in there. What I should do is I should go in the garage or something, but I should have brought out some of that. I did bring out some of that copper wire that I had to make those different colors. And it's too coarse, too thick. I got to get some thinner wire for that. I've never seen that. That is awesome. That's wicked. There he is. Hey, Michael. Yummy. Rocket says I'm a heck of a tease. Actually, I said it and she agreed. Yeah, if, I wish I had some copper. It's usually like 10 gauge wire. I tried to use the out here, but it didn't work. I don't know if it's too thick. Shouldn't be, but I think it is. I don't know. I can try it again. Some of the copper that I melt with, I took a spool off. I don't know. I'll try it again. I'll try it again. Maybe take it apart a little bit. Maybe it's just too bundled up. I don't know. It's kind of neat when you got a nice hot fire. Maybe the fire wasn't hot enough. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see here. Try to drop that in there. See if I can get some green and red flames. I don't know. Didn't work earlier, but I've done it several times before in the past, but not with that type of copper wire. I'm talking like regular, like Christmas tree, the wire for dressing Christmas trees, and it makes an awesome green reddish flames. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that before. Yes, Carter knows. I think Carter knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, the copper, the pure 999 copper that I use is, I don't know. I threw a piece of that in there earlier, and like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with the. I think it's got to do with the thickness of the gauge of the wire, maybe. I'm not sure. No, I wouldn't. I guess you say I got. You could say I got copper to burn, and that's true. I do have a lot of copper, a lot. I'm almost tempted to look over in my compartment of my one of my fifth wheels over there to see if I got any wire. Hmm. I don't know. I know I got an extension cord, but it's a heavier gauge extension cord. That's right over there. Maybe I could use this knife that I got after I finish eating this steak and cut off a hunk of it. Hunk of it, throw it in there. But it does make some really awesome colors. Yep, silver was over 37 today. Um, 37.17, I think it was. It may have gotten higher than that. I'm not 100% sure. I was saying, I think before the end of June, I think you're gonna see a hit 38. I don't know if it'll sustain that or not. Yeah, Michael was saying in his live stream he had sold some. I'm not selling mine. I'm trying to remember the cheapest I've ever bought silver for. I don't remember. I do know that I, at once upon a time, paid under $15 way back in the day. I paid under $15 an ounce for it. I bought it back in the day. Um, those 5 ounce bars that I bought in 2003, I forgot what it was, but I think it was around 20 ish, 20 something. I got four of those 4 ounce, or those four of those 5 ounce bars that have gold inlay on them. You had an emergency? Oh my. What kind of an emergency? Wasn't too bad. Mm. I don't got no silver to shake out here. Get Cartier silver out here. Yeah, steak is all gone. Sorry, brother. I was gonna cook you a hot dog and take a picture of it, Michael, and send it to you, but you got a better picture of live steak. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's you said that. I'm at 65 Morgan emergency. Yeah, I know you're saying it, but I think I was back and forth. Um, I brought the phone in there with me, and I had it lay down on the counter while I was checking on my steak and making Mrs. T-Bird uh, an iced coffee. Had to make a whole pot of coffee. Yeah, ribeye is better than a hot dog. You got that right, brother. It is. Oh boy. Yeah, I got three of them. $54 at Sam's Club. $54 for three ribeyes. They're nice. They're about, I don't know, they're probably about an inch and a half cut, probably. I forget how many pounds it was, but it was $54. Some change. I had my first one. No hot dogs. Ran out of hot dogs. I looked for some though. I was gonna bring it out here and I was gonna cook it over the open grill fire for you. Yes, sir, it was. Oh, it's such a beautiful night out here. I don't even know if I was kind of hoping. I mean, we got a star-filled sky. There's some clouds. There's no way you guys can see the stars. Not on my camera. I'm just curious because sometimes you can see. We're supposed to maybe have some aurora borealis. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the sky, can't you? I don't think that's it. I think that's the glow. That's looking north. It's looking north towards Montreal. It sort of lights. I mean, I don't know. Let me shut this off. My light off here. There's no way I'd be able to show that even on my camera. You can see a couple clouds up there. I don't see any aurora borealis, which would be the northern lights. But sometimes when I change a setting on my phone, you can sometimes see it. Hey, Dennis the Menace, how you doing? Obnoxious Glenn, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Is that OTG? You ain't sick. You heard Vargas, Cat, Cartier, Desiree. No, I'm not sick. No, I came home from work early though. Oh, my phone come unplugged. I gotta stop being careful about turning my phone around or touching my screen before I mess something up, right, Carter? Till I get that new phone switched over. There we go. Yeah, I didn't get no colors out of that Cartier. It's the same stuff I melt. I melt with. I'm trying to plug my phone back in. I can't seem to get it. There we go. There it is. Yeah, I got a little too sidetracked trying to show you the lights up on the clouds facing north. Let's see if I missed any comments. I know there was something. Desiree. Yes, Desiree. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I thought obnoxious was that GHM. Hmm. Is that OTG? No, it can't be. That ain't OTG. I'm not sure who that is. Dirtier copper? That's it's possible, Cartier. I thought of the same thing because the copper that I use is pure copper. It's 999 pure. and I've got a lot of it. I don't know. I counted out what I have in pieces and about what each piece weighs, and I probably on the copper that I melt, I think I have like around 75 pounds of it, approximately, give or take 10 pounds or so. And then I have other spools of pure copper, that's heavy braided copper, as well as pure copper. Um, the other copper I probably got 50 pounds of what I call dirty copper, used copper, from the days where I was doing work on changing people's plumbing and all that. Some of it's brand new fittings that I had, that I owned, that I bought. I don't consider that dirty copper though. Yeah, same thing with zinc. Hmm. Yeah, zinc I'd want to be careful of. That's when you get that. You're melting that zinc. You don't want to be around the fumes of that. I try to stay clear when I'm doing something that I don't know what it is. I mean, copper. I always open the doors up. And I have a window in the top part of my garage, and keep the door open. It creates a draft coming from outside going in. It circulates the air up above to the upper loft. Even when I'm heating my pure copper, I always try to be cautious of that. And a lot of the breaker salvage that I have, there's reasonings why I haven't melted that yet. I probably got about 4 or 5 ounces of that, with a lot more to come. And I'm just debating whether I'm going to get around to doing that fume hood for using the acids to break down the silver breakers into pure 999 copper. Whether I'm going to be able to achieve that this summer or not, I don't know. I got a lot of work, a lot of things I need to do here around the homestead before I get going on that. Throw a piece of that brass in there. I got big pieces of brass. What would brass do? I've never had brass in the fire. I've got some pieces of brass, but they're chunky pieces. They're chunky fittings. I have some smaller stuff that's inside my studio. Now, if you guys want to enjoy the fire for a second, give me a minute. I'm just gonna walk over to my fifth wheel, open the door, and the outside thing. Check to see if I got any type of wire there. Maybe I can get some of that dirty copper wire. No, nothing there. Nothing there, but I haven't done that stake. I haven't done that stake. I don't know how well you heard me because I was a little ways away, but there's none in my fifth wheel compartment. About 15 feet away, I have a couple of pieces. I got an extension cord. That's damaged. Lawnmower hit it. I've got that. I can probably take that piece and probably cut a piece off, hack a piece off, and throw those in there. See if we can get some different colored flames. No, I guess I lied. that extension cord, I reconnected it from. I got the older camper. I'd forgot the other day. I got something wrong with the inverter in my newer camper, or something's going on. And I have my old fifth wheel. I have that hardwire. All the wiring is going to the breaker box inside my garage, down underground in a conduit through the ground. And my new one, I just had regular. I had something going on with it, and I wasn't getting power to it, so I used that heavy gauge extension cord that I got that got hit by the lawnmower, and I plugged it into the power supply that comes outside. It's a real heavy gauge cord that you would plug into when you're at a campground, and I've got a piece that you put on the end of that that converts it to like an extension cord type thing. And I use that heavy gauge cord that I got, and I put it onto the hard wire of the old one to connect to the newer fifth wheel that we have, so that would have power, so I could get my slider out and everything. Because the battery had went dead, and I got to replace the battery, and I got something going on with the converter. I don't know what it is. I still haven't got into it yet. But yeah, I'd really like to turn around. I wish I had some extra copper wire here other than that clean copper. I can't think of where there's any directly inside. Being live right now, I really don't want to keep leaving you guys to go check for copper wire to get some flames, some cool looking flames. That would be sweet. That would be. Now we got 14 likes. Woo! What time it is? I can't tell what time it is. Somebody give me a 10:20. Silver shot. No silver shot in the fire. Yeah, piece of brass. I'm thinking. The only pieces of brass I got are huge. They're big. There's too much to do with them. They're too much. They wouldn't. If the fire was big enough and hot enough, it would maybe melt it into a little puddle. Alrighty, Michael. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Put some more pieces of wood on here. Yeah, I can still see that piece of copper wire. Didn't even do anything. That's why. That's why, Cartier. It's too good of copper. It never even. It's not burning like the fine stuff. Look at that. See it? There's that copper wire. It's not. It's too. It's even though it's fairly fine. It's too. Yeah, the other piece. Right? The other piece I put in there is down there too. I can see it. Yeah, it's right there. It's my melting zone. Put the fire out. Well, we'll get it going again. Yeah, that's why. that copper's too pure, too clean to burn. It's only good for melting. Did you see that, Cartier? The little piece of the copper wire that I threw in there never melted. Oh, I'm getting a lot of wind on the microphone. Okay, yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot I can do about that except for change my position. Oh man. Yeah, I got the wind's coming from the southwest and I got my fifth wheels there. If it wasn't for the fifth wheels being there, it'd be much worse. No problem. I pulled out the pure copper wire that I had put in there. I dealt with. Grab the piece. I'll show it to you. pure copper wire. This is just a strand. This is just a strand of it. It's too heavy. I thought it would be fine gauge enough to where it would melt and burn and make them funky colors. But it's not. The pieces are still in there, inside the coals, and they haven't done nothing. They haven't done nothing. I got it right here. It doesn't take the copper long because there's those pieces. They're it's too clean, too good of copper to burn away to make those colors. So that didn't do anything for me by throwing those in. That's why I didn't get no colors. Raqqa, not very far. If I was to go across the Canadian border, I could be there in. If I was in my car right now, I could be up at the border at the Canadian crossing. 7 minutes. So, as a crow flies, I don't know, 5-6 miles maybe, 7 miles, give or take. Not very far. Copper oxide sulfates, yes, produce those pretty colors. Yes, they do, Dennis. They do. And that's the oxides that produce the pretty red patina on my copper bores. And what I just learned not that long ago, and Raqqa had also mentioned it as well in one of my live streams, that's what is making the black on my, I thought it was maybe for my graphite, but it's not. I researched it. The black that's on the copper is the oxides as well. And then if you get black on there, underneath that black is the red oxide from the copper, from the pure copper. And it's got a lot to do with the temperatures that you're using to melt it with, and also oxygen, the conditions on when you're pouring it. The oxygen level, the temperature of the metal when it is molten, how quickly it cools. There's a lot of variables on whether you get a lot of patina or little or none at all. No, I don't, Raqqa. Like I was saying a little earlier in this live, like a lot of times, anytime when I'm even out there, I get all the metal in my crucible. I get all the copper that's put into the crucible. I turn the crucible on, and while it's heating, I leave the garage, but I also leave the door open, and the second loft up above in the garage, I have another window that's opened, and it creates a draft, and the fresh air comes in the bottom, and it raises to the top of the building of the garage, and it goes out. Once it's fully melted, when it's melting, is when you get a lot of the fumes from it, and I do try to stay away from it, and I don't breathe it. There are certain other things, like I was saying, like the silver breakers that I have other metals in them that have very poisonous gas. That's why I do not melt them. I want to do that in a different fashion by dissolving them into a liquid state using acids, and then I can separate the metals that way, and I can drop it into a powder form, and then I can turn around and I can purify it and clean it with distilled water, and then I can get it all by itself, and then I will be able to make it into silver, and I can make pure silver shot, but it won't be perfectly 999 until I use another process where I create a silver cell. Then I can grow my own silver crystals into pure 999 silver. that's what my intentions are doing with the silver breaker scraps that I get from all the breakers that I have. I have a lot of them. But yeah, I've always got a door open or ventilation on the inside of my garage whenever I'm doing it. And like I said, I try not to be in there while the metal is heating and while it's heating up. I may periodically go in there and check to see how it's doing. I know it usually takes me at 1200 degrees Celsius. It takes approximately about 45 minutes from the time that I turn the furnace on, 45 to 50 minutes from the time I turn the furnace on at 1200 degrees until I got molten copper, the amount that I put into that 3 kilo crucible. And I, like I said, I know about how long it would take, and sometimes I add to it. It all depends on what I'm pouring and how much I'm pouring and what I want to pour. But most times I've always got anywhere from 20 to 25 ounces of copper in there. I think the most I've ever had molten, which I think it was from the pours that I did. I weighed everything after the fact, and I think I had like 42 ounces of copper pours from one melting. And that's quite a bit of copper. Pretty sure it was 40. Yeah, was it 42? Yeah, it was 42. It was a 3 kilo. Was it 3 kilo? 42, or was it maybe it was 32? 32 ounces. 32 point, I forget what it was, 32.8 ounces. I said 42, I meant 32. My bad. Grams of scrap, 99. Yeah, sterling silver. You found. Yeah, I think you were talking about that before, Dennis. Yeah, you were talking about that. Yeah, sterling silver, I've never melted. Um, too much different than regular, but I have heard that sterling silver is a little more difficult to pour. I think maybe Cartier has done that. I think he's dabbled with the sterling silver as well. Let's put a piece of this pine board on here just to get rid of it. That will make a nice great fire too. And when I walk away, you probably can't hear me as well. I'm back sitting down. Yeah, I think Cartier's poured sterling silver. I know there was somebody else that channel that I'd watched. I think it may have been FG or it may have been the Broke Stacker. I forget that had poured, or maybe no. I'm trying to think. I can't remember now. But it was another subscriber of mine that had poured sterling silver, and I think it was the Broke. Yes, it was the Broke. And he had poured something that it took him like 4 or 5 different tries, I think. And it doesn't pour the same as like regular pure silver. It all depends on what it has in it. How many more, it's got more than just the silver. The only thing I've ever poured is just pure silver shot. Yeah, that's what I heard, Carter. I've heard it's a pain. Huh. Make a mess out of the crucible. Yeah, it's like when I got some stuff that I knew wasn't copper when I made that brass dragon. I knew it wasn't pure copper. It was copper, but I knew it was an alloy metal. But I didn't know at that particular point in time. And I didn't know what exactly had it. I had to do a little research, and they had nickel in it. Now, nickel, unfortunately, melts like at about 1400 degrees Celsius. But like I was saying, those 2 auto furnaces, the one that I have, they have like a built-in factor. They've got to be able to at least 1200 degrees is the maximum temperature that you can set it to, but it has to go beyond that to be able to achieve the 1200 degrees. And when I had these copper pieces I put in there that was an alloy, it took almost it took almost 3 hours before it got to a molten stage. I think it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes. It was over double the amount of time, like with my regular pure copper. And I said, "What in the heck?" I couldn't believe it. I'm saying, "What's taking so long?" And and then when I actually went to go pour the dragon head, I poured it, and it wasn't even. I mean, the pure copper that I usually use pours like water at 1200 degrees. It pours like water, and it didn't pour. It was like a lava flow. It was like a lava flow, and it poured slow. And it was thick and sludgy, and and it left a mess inside my crucible, like mud. Oh boy, yeah. Well, I've got some brass, and I've been collecting brass every time. Before in the past, I mean, um, Mellows Forge was kind enough to send me some brass in the past. This was 3 4 months ago, and I've saved it. And since then, of course, at some point in time, I'm going to be pouring some brass. And some of the brass that he sent me are plumbing fixtures that have chrome on them. And he said it's a light layer of chrome, and that ain't no biggie. That'll melt too. But that's going to be another project, and it's a really nice looking brass. But yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how that's going to work. But I've been collecting when I break my breakers down and other electronic pieces and stuff that I have. I used to take my brass and I used to just get rid of it and throw it away. But since I got that brass from him and since I started melting, I think it was about 7 months ago when I first started melting and pouring when I got my first two auto. I never kept the brass. I always kept copper. I just always kept copper. The silver breakers. That's what I was mainly after. All the steel and plastic and stuff I would throw away, and if there was any brass, I'd throw that away too. But since then, now I've been collecting brass. So when I'm breaking down a breaker, and if I got brass in there, which I do, and I have, I'm putting it in separate places. Nice roaring fire. Oh, that's just a little fire. That's just a little one. That fire pit is about the open area that you see here. Let's see. This is this is about 3.5 feet. So this is about 3.5 feet, probably by about 3 feet. No, 3.5. It's got to be more than that. Sorry. Yeah, no, about 3.5, 3.5 to 4 feet. This is about 4 feet wide by about 3 feet. This area is about 4 by 3. So it's maybe that's a good fire for you, but usually I've got a bed of coals probably double the size of that, and I got flames going up to here. Usually, so I'm keeping a little bit down on the low side. I hope you could hear me while I was over there. Got to run again. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, Vegas. Bigger than your backyard. Oh man, yeah, 12 by 10. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this it actually radiates the heat as well. Like I got it here. When I originally had built this, I was going I was going to motor the cinder blocks together, but I said no because I was always adding, making it bigger and bigger, and I like them where they just stack together and push tight together. That way, there, if I ever have to change anything, and of course, it's not like the fire's directly on it. A lot of people have cinder blocks and they have a little fire pit, and it's always their bricks are always breaking because they're way too close. Their cinder blocks are way too close to the fire, to the heat source, and they get hot enough and they'll break. Um, the way I have it, and it's so big in the fire pit is the opened area is just ground, and then I got the stone bricks along the edge of the outside edge of the fire pit on these bigger pieces of stone that I've got at Lowe's. Thank you, Lowe's. Can't believe how much I don't know. I got a lot of those. I put some money in stones on this, stones and the cinder blocks and everything. It's been years and years in the making. I started off with originally 3 cinder blocks way back in the day, about 35 years ago, and it went from 3 cinder blocks, and then it went to 4, then 5 and 6, and then I changed it, and I had a 55-gallon stainless steel drum that I had, and I cut a hole out of it. I got an idea from an old railroad buddy that I knew. He's long passed a long time ago. His name was Jimmy Woods. He was an awesome guy. He was the greatest guy in the world. But he had a campsite down in a place on Lake Champlain called Owaga Bay. And we used to go, me and Mrs. Hebert used to go down there and would go to his camp that he'd have during the summertime. And he had this cool 55-gallon drum that he had. And the hole was cut out at the top, in the middle where he put the wood in, about in the middle of it. And then out of that, he used that in the top, had a hole cut out. And he had it designed where that piece he would take out, he designed it into a chimney. And it was just awesome. And on the top of it, you could actually use a griddle and you could cook on it and everything. And I got the idea from him. So I kept the cinder blocks there, and I used that until that 3-4 years went by, and the amount of fires I had in it just kind of burnt through the side of the drum. And then I turned around and I just started building this fire pit in the same place. And this fire pit right here has been barren ground for 36 years. 36 years. This is where the fire's always been. It's always been here. This is where it's been. 36 years. It hasn't moved its spot. It just got bigger and bigger. I'm not done with it yet. I don't think I'm going to make it too much bigger, but a lot of people ask me why I don't put a metal canopy or something over the top. Yes, I probably have to go pretty high because I think I would like to, but I usually have pretty good sized fires in here. Like I said, this is just a small little fire. Well, an average sized fire. But there's times where the flames are, probably rising 3 feet above 2-3 feet above the top of that. I mean, right now it looks like it's higher, but it's only about halfway down that cinder block wall, about right there. About right there. I've had it where it's 2-3 feet above the top of that. Yeah, a smokehouse. Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking about. On the top, like I said, sometimes I've got some pretty good. I've had ideas of building on top of the top of this wall in the corners and having it raised and capping it off. I don't think I'd want to use wood, but I could because it's far enough away from it, but I'd rather not. But I do have some metal pillars, and I've got a lot of aluminum stock that I could use and I could build on top of it, and I'd have to put a metal roof on the top of it, but I'd have to have it opened enough on the top for that to go out. Thought about that. Do some ribs and fish. Yeah, ribs and fish. Smokehouse. Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. Don't give me any ideas, Cartier. I got enough things going on to start something new. And I'd have a drive up. I could have another driveway there, and I could do T-Bird Smokehouse, ribs and fish, and I could do like a drive-through, and I could just drive around, drive along the side, off over here to the left, pick up order here, and they could drive around, drive to the other side, and drive out my other side of my property. Yeah, yeah, I like smoked salmon. I had a smoker back in the day. It looked like a barrel. The top would come open, and you have your fire pit on one side, and you could use hickory wood. A lot of times, I like to use wild apple trees because I got a lot of wild apple trees around here, and that makes a very good, interesting taste in smoking meat and whatnot. But I used to smoke my own steak and meat. It's big down there. Hmm. Smoked mullet. Huh. Well, I don't think I've ever had smoked mullet. For a second, when I saw the mullet thing, I thought maybe you were talking about my hair back in the day. And when I was young, I had a mullet. It wasn't smoked though. You just got short hair now. Easy. Take the barber shears to it, and I can cut my own hair. Zip, zip, quarter inch, done. Don't have to comb it or anything. I don't got to feather it and all that stuff. Eel. Eel. I don't know. I've heard eel is good, but I've never had it. Hmm. Along the rivers here and in the lake, Lake Champlain, they have freshwater eels. I don't know if anybody would eat those or not. I don't know. I don't think they're just regular eels, freshwater eels. I think some of the most exotic meats that I've had has all been exotic smoked meat, and you must have all heard of Cabela's. It's I haven't ordered from Cabela's in, I don't know, 15, 20 years, but I had ordered some beef jerky and other stuff through Cabela's, and they had smoked meats, and they had alligator that I'd got, and I tried. That was pretty good. They had ostrich. I had ostrich, smoked ostrich meat. That was really good. There was one other one, but I can't remember what it was. Dutch herring? Yeah, I've heard of Dutch herring before. Yeah, I think I've actually had it before. They have a real fancy restaurant down in the city where I work, and I think that's the place where I had it, Dutch herring, because they had also. It was back in my younger days when I had it, and I think at that same time when I'd ate there, I'd had escargot for the first time. Ah, escargot. You guys know what escargot is, right? Come on. Dennis Menace got it, and I know Cardier's got it, and maybe Rocket does. Escargot. Snails. I don't even remember what they taste like. I've had frog legs before. Them are all right, I guess. I could tell you stories about that, but my daughter wouldn't. She don't like it. We got a lot of frogs up here. We got the leopard. Yeah, yeah. I hear you, Rocco. Yeah. I tried it, but only because of the people that I had brought out. Um, I had a. It's a long story, and I don't want to get into it. But I had a service. I a service that I had done, and I don't want to say it because it's something that could be Googled. But these people had brought me out anyways, and they bought me dinner, and that's where I had the Dutch herring and the escargot, and I didn't know what they were. They loved them, and they ordered it, and they had me try it, and I tried it, and I said, yeah, it's all right. I think I was maybe being more polite, maybe. Like I said, I vaguely remember what it tasted like, but it wasn't like steak. It wasn't like steak, and it didn't have the flavor anywhere near steak. but I tried it, and it was all right that I can remember, but I don't remember what it tasted like. But then they told me what it was, and I was like, oh my, yuck! Really? You just made me eat a snail? Yeah, it was in garlic too. Yeah, yeah. The escargot, I'm pretty sure was in garlic. I believe it was. Like I said, I'm going back in the day. Oh, I'm going back 35 years ago, or more. Yeah, about 35 years ago. Yeah, it was a while. I think we need more firewood. Another piece of pine. I don't want pine. I'll use this. The broke stacker. I don't know if I'm. I must be scaring you guys. I'm placing that on there, and by the way you guys are looking at, you probably seen my hand looks like it's right in the fire. It's not. I'm being safe. Don't worry, Raka. Yeah, you're right. I do recall it being earthy. Like, would I eat it again? Probably not. No. Oh, it gives me the quivers just thinking of it. Thinking about you putting a snail in your mouth, but I guess it's if you go outside the United States, it's a common thing, like eating stuff like snails or even grasshoppers or crickets and all that. I've never had grasshoppers. I've never had crickets. I don't know. They can eat them. I don't want them. I'll have my steak. So you gonna do some pouring tomorrow, Cartier, or what? Remember you saying earlier you were gonna do it. You were thinking about doing it yesterday morning. I think we're after midnight now, aren't we? I'll have to go to your page and check it out. I don't know if you're gonna be doing it when I'm working or not. I was pretty lucky today. Polish people eat TBS. Fine. Hmm. LBS, what's going on, brother? Carpfish. Yeah, I've had carpfish before. Yeah, they were pretty good. Thanks for stopping by, Liberty. Uh, yeah, you don't ever want it overcooked, because that back over 35 years ago when I had that. I didn't know I had it when I was eating it. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever eat escargot again or not. I do love clams. I mean, there's seafood. I love seafood. Scallops, bay scallops, shrimp, especially Argentina shrimp. I think that's my favorite, Argentina shrimp. Love clams. Clams are awesome. Oysters I've had maybe a couple of times. Oysters are a little different than clams. I've never had them raw. No, I've seen people will eat raw oysters. No, that's not me. I'll stick with my clams and my scallops and my Argentina shrimp and my steak. That's what I love the best. Lobster. Oh, don't forget the lobster and crab. You know, we used to go down to I forget who it was that was in our chat or in my chat that lived down around the Jersey Shore. And we still have friends. One has passed away. We used to go down there dedicatedly every summer, and they got blue crabs down there, and we used to catch them right off the dock, right where their house, not their house, but their rental house was. And they used to let us stay in their rental house. We'd go down there for 2 weeks at a time. You know, like what do they call that? It's like a little inlet island off from the shore, and you can drive all the way around. You can pull your boats right up to it. I know Daisy May has like the similar type thing. She lives down there in the Florida area. What do they call that? Raw oysters? No, I've never had raw oysters. I've only had oysters, like I said, a couple of times, but I think I prefer the clams. Hmm. Oyster fritters. Hmm. It's been a while since I've had oysters. Maybe I should try them again, but cooked, not raw. No. This is where they're all cool. Yeah, this is where all the cool folks are. LBS, Cartier, Raka, Dennis the Menace. Yeah, brother. Woo! I was trying to find some copper to throw in the fire. I used some of my melting copper, but it wouldn't melt. Not that I was trying to melt it. I was trying to get some cool colors out of it, but you can't see it. Let me turn my headlight on. It wouldn't burn like regular copper. I got to get some dirty copper to make those cool colors, the greens and the blues and the reds. Have you ever seen that LBS when you put it in a fire, like wire from an extension cord or something like that? Especially the Christmas tree lights. Those, if I had some Christmas tree light wire, throw that in there. I know that would give us some color. Yeah, exactly. Yep, but my pure copper that I use for my melting didn't do anything, nothing, and it wouldn't even burn. I had it in there. I had two pieces. I put one piece in there and didn't do anything. I threw another piece in there and I thought it would have disintegrated and I didn't get no color from it and I couldn't figure out why because it's not burning. It's not burning or melting. Being, I guess, probably the pure 999 copper I got is like Cartier said, it's not dirty copper. It's not mixed with anything else. It's a different grade of copper. The copper that I'm using, that I use my pores and mine is pure copper and it's high grade copper. The stuff that I do all my pores with. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, if you hadn't seen me, or I talked about it in the past in other streams about the patina. The red patina is a copper oxide, and the one thing that I had learned, the black that's on my T-bird bars, I always thought it was some of the graphite material that had mixed in that kind of floated up to the top, and it's not. Just for information, for learning purposes, black is actually a byproduct of the heating as well, and it's an oxide. It's a copper oxide, and that goes to the top of the surface, black, and that's the stuff that's easily cleaned with the Wright's copper cleaner. Hey, bro, Groot said it wrong, but the red patina is the you can get it off there, but you got to really scrub, and it's more it's something that I more like as well as the other people in the porn community. Uh, but that is an oxide. It's a byproduct, and it's got. I did a little research on it, and it's got a lot to do with the temperature, how quickly it cools, the temperature of the metal, the oxygen in the air, and there's a bunch of different variables. Whether you get the what do we got here? Oh, I just a motorcycle. I thought maybe it was a 4x4 or a razor. Didn't sound like a razor though. You probably heard him. But there's a lot of different variables of when you get the red oxide, the red patina. It's got a lot to do with conditions of how hot the copper is, how quickly it cools off, the oxygen in the air, and what you're doing. Um, I think even something that it may have a little bit to do with even how you quench it or how long you let it cool off before you quench it. The one thing that I've never done is I've never when I did a copper pour, I have not yet let one cool off naturally. I think I may do that just to see what happens. I do know, like a lot of times when I do have my 3 kilo crucible in there, and I've got a little puddle in the bottom, the leftover, it seems as though that I'm getting wicked red glossy colors from the very bottom of the crucible, the last part of the copper to pour. And it seems as though, like, hold on a second. Mrs. T-Bird is coming. I gotta go see what she wants. Are you done work? Oh, I guess Mrs. T-Bird's done work. Yeah, Mrs. T-Bird's done work. But yeah, like I was saying, the bottom of that crucible, it seems like the latter part of it, whatever it is something's happening at the bottom of that to where the red, the really vibrant red, is at the bottom. It could be the aurora. It could be my aura. I don't know. I know I'm pouring birds. Yeah, it could be. But I pulled out some nice pieces out of the out of those crucibles, and no black oxide on them at all. 2 or 3 different times, and they're bright, shiny, glossy red, like a deep red. It's a really wicked color, and there's no black oxide on them at all. But it seems like it's always on the very last part of the pores that I'm getting that from. Let me see. Dennis, did I miss something? Dennis said it. Good night. Put on the fire comes that. No, because we're sleeping out in the fifth wheels. No, no. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I got the camera pointed right. Yeah, I don't got the lights turned on. You can't see it. I got my headlight on. We'll be sleeping out there again tonight. But she's probably just getting done work. Probably put back out one more time. We bring the dogs out with us in the fifth wheel. Have a good night, Dennis and Menace. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to probably be cutting it out too, pretty short. I'm not sure what time it is. I can't see the time on my phone, but I think it's got to be probably close to 12:30, maybe. Baraka would know. I think she's in the same time zone as I am, or one away. I think she's in the same time zone as Michael Stacky. 12:50. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Yeah, she must be just about done work. She said she was. She was just wrapping things up, and we'll probably got the puppy dogs, and probably come back out here, and they'll probably sit here, and I'll enjoy the fire with her for a while longer, and then we'll probably head into the fifth wheel, and then I'll get up and go back to work again tomorrow. I don't think I'll be lucky tomorrow. Today I was lucky, worked for 4 hours and came home. Had an awesome day. Hey Raja, how you doing? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But yeah, everyone, thanks a lot for stopping in. So I'll probably call it a night. Thank you, Raka. Thank you, Raja, for stopping by. Thank you, Dennis Menace, if you're still here. Thank you, LBS and Cartier. Thanks for hanging out. I know Michael had came and gone. There's a couple other ones that came and gone. But I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out and having a nice fire with me. I know LBS missed the steak. That's long gone. Alrighty. What's the word? Bird's the word. Have a good night, everyone. T-Bird out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Stay shiny, LBS. Woo. Yes, sir. Have a good night. T-Bird out.